Hello friends, this is Terry from Genkigamingtv. Let's talk about Yokai Watch Y Academy, the Close Encounters with the In-Kind, Episode 23, Love, Youth, and Our Fight Without Righteousness. Or, Aito, Seishun, To, Oreitachi no, Jingin Nakita Takai? Yeah, that is truly a mouthful. So, today we are talking about a couple different characters. This episode has Ronto, like, right front and center. And Ronto is probably the best drawn person in this entire episode. Like, he's best drawn, best shaded. It's not that everyone else looks bad or anything like that, but you can tell the pandemic has kind of affected stuff, but we're gonna talk about Ronto's student council. The guy with the black hair has a scouter like Bluetooth on his head, and I want to say level 5. You could so sell that and make so much money, at least in Japan. Also, the purple haired girl is kind of cute. We really don't know, like, hardly any of the student council people's names other than Ronto. But then we sequence in to the student council's meeting room, where Ronto is basically explaining, yeah, they're dangerous. Yes, we need to deal with the threat that is Nayu. She has the Y Academy police force at her beck and call. Totally not because they're her drones. It's like there's one way that we can equal this all out to a certain extent. We need to get the Yokai Mafia on our side, kind of. Or at least get it so that they'll end up siding with us in case a total war happens. A lot of this was implied. So, Ronto goes to the YSP club, not to see Junpei because we don't need that poorly drawn guy. He's here to see Orange Boy, Melodido. And we get some funny, like, 50 yen joke that you'll only get if you have any form of Japanese listening skill and, like, form of, like, the culture thing. Junpei reached underneath something, got a 50 yen piece, and then, like, it wasn't seen, but somehow Ronto had it and was like moving it right into Marilido's face. It's like a visual trick that's sometimes very funny. But as we continue on, we learn that the Y Mafia has been getting all of the yakisoba and curry pan, or yakisoba and curry bread, that the school has, and have been using it to fuel the bellies of certain political figures within the school. I'm looking at you, Haruhiko, aka man who is easily fooled by the Y Mafia. He supports their wrongdoings because they're occurring in the shadows, and they're actually somehow covering up the fact that Nayu has been evil this entire time. Also, I want to point out that the meeting room for the student council reminds me so much of Aizen's meeting room in Bleach with all of the espada. Like that table, that layout, Ronto at the head of it. It just screams Yokai Espada Rancor. Yeah, I know that's a lot to scream out, but yeah, it just kind of cries out to that. Junpei did something embarrassing. Everyone is not surprised, but still embarrassed by the fact that Junpei is still kind of joking. We also see Nayu looking from her sky pillar. At least that's what I'm calling it. And she sent one of her little peons, Shinobu. Yeah, that's his name, right? To go follow the YSP club. But Nayu is not caring. she's really just ignoring the situation. She has this big camera on them, but she's only merely just surveying them to see if they'll become a threat to her like iron monarchy of the school. Fubuki is excited and really wants to dance at the social club. Like you can tell that by what she says, by her vocal pitch of yes, I feel like I want to dance or something like that, and her little dance moves that she was trying to do, like the way she was moving her arms. Also, Fubuki's VA is doing a fantastic job, as is the rest of the cast, because I believe they're still doing it from home, because Fubuki's microphone had a tiny little bit of an echo, which is not bad even in normal voice acting. That little bit of a pitch echo, it's like barely noticeable, but I'm bringing it up because I know there will be one person that brings it up and says, why didn't you cover that? So I covered it. And we're now introduced to, I believe it's Chiaki-kun, or Hebiyama Chiaki. I don't really like Chiaki, just because I think Chiaki is a true threat. He is also the owner of the YSP Watch Viper Connector, which makes him transform into a Sky Snaker, which that name is so funny. It just makes me want to laugh, because it's a part Monte snake reptile skyscraper. It's so good. It's such a good portmanteau. That's when like two words are smashed together and they have a really interesting sound and interpretation. But we're gonna continue on. Chiaki basically fodderizes the guy that's standing there with the yakisoba pan. And then Chiaki introduces everyone to the mafia leader by basically guiding them to where he is at. He is Nozuchika Mitsumatagi. That's such a long name. But he's basically Michy, so I like him. And can we please get more of him? He has a cool design. He has really good shading. Like his entire body is really well shaded compared to Jinpei, who is Jinpei. But I'm just pointing out we need more powerful allies if we're gonna take down Nayu. And yeah, we need this guy. And we also need Chiaki, even though I feel like Chiaki could be evil to some extent, like a anti-hero evil, where he'll unintentionally help. So, Ronto brawls with Nozuchika-san, or Nozuchika Mitsumatagi-san, but Ronto gets basically owned, because apparently double team exists in the Yokai Watch world, because I'm trying not to look at the name Nozuchika, because it's really a different name. Nozuchika. I'm just gonna call him Nozuchika. Does a double team and has two clones, and they beat down Ronto. But as people step up, he becomes the Viper. Basically, the Viper. Which, unironically, is actually a decent name. And also, this is the first episode where Haruhiko is not the one causing trouble. Like, one of the first episodes where he didn't have to do the hair attack. But basically, everyone's in the fray except for Koma and Fubuki. You got Mira as Shishio. You got Kengo Benimaru. We got how am I forgetting Ronto's Spacey Formy's name? It's because we've only seen it a couple times, so give me one moment. Miss Shadow, because I almost called him Shadow Mist. Also, I just learned a new fact. Apparently, his voice actor also portrays Zhao Kaira from Shadow Side, so yeah, that's something I did not know that the wiki must have just updated. So as this fight goes on, our boys are getting owned by the Viper! But Kingo Benimaru has Kingo Benimaru plot armor and now has 2 swords. Can Kingo Benimaru stop getting upgrades, guys? I mean, it's not annoying, but this downplays Wild Boy. It downplays Blue Moon when Kingo Benimaru gets like 2 special attacks. The ability to dual wield. The ability to execute. Like one shot. But Blue Pawn. Our Blue Pawn boy is here for when Junpei gets owned. Which, I love Blue Pawn. Blue Moon is such a nice design, even though I feel like Blue Moon, Wild Boy, and Kingo Benimaru should all 3 be separate entities, so that we can have a fusion dance. And ironically, Junpei isn't even fully needed for Blue Moon if you really think about it, because Blue Moon is a fusion between Blue Pawn, the metal itself, and Junpei. So it's kind of like Digimon Season 4, like with Gilmon, and maybe I'm thinking the wrong one. No, it was the one where there was like the different Agumon and the Lillamon, and like you guys know what I'm talking about, where they basically fuse in to get. No, I'm thinking of Renamon, the one with Renamon and Gilmon. But yeah, Blue Moon does like a deep dive into the Viper's inner sanctum, into the Viper's mind. Basically, tragic backstory about a young boy who has a rich daddy who does not want him to play with other kids, so, well, other kids that are below their family means, so he basically pays another kid to play with his son. And when his son finds out, Nozu Chiak, I gotta go back to the page. Nozu Chika is so devastated that he cries and runs away. But after Blue Moon's finisher, and after like realizing that his friend, the kid with the long black hair, gave him a cute little dragon keychain, and that the world can be better if they can all become friends, he is kind of defeated. Chiaki shows up, and it's like, I'll be taking my watch back, and becomes, I need to get used to all of these new names, guys. I apologize, but this episode was really good. And Chiaki is it Sky Snaker? Sky Snaker. Which is pretty cool. This episode has a lot going for it. I hope they don't forget Nozu Chika exists. I hope he plays a more supporting role. Kind of like how Mela Lido is playing a supporting role, even within the YSP. Like, what I'm seeing that they are doing is they're really... This episode kind of works with world building a little bit, but I have noticed small drops in quality, only on certain people. I'm bringing this up right now. Like I referenced it earlier, Junpei has a little bit of... I'm not going to say bad line art, but it's a little bit shaky looking. I talked with the Yokai advisor a little bit, but it's only really on Junpei and Nayu. And I think, like, some of the line art for a couple other smaller objects is a little bit shaky looking. But other than that, everything is really polished for this episode. Also, I want to point out that Nayu's couch is really well drawn, and like it's a like I'm bringing up a random object as comparison. Like Nayu herself, when they do the zoomy shot in on her, like some of her line art is a little bit, I'm not gonna say a mess or anything, but it's a little bit rough. Something tells me they just might not have had the time to go back and touch that up. Because as someone who dabbles in Photoshop on occasions, like I notice a little bit of this stuff. But everyone else, for the most part, looks really good. Like, there's just some minor things, and I'm not nitpicking. I'm just bringing it up because someone else in the comment sections might bring it up, and we don't have to defend or attack this situation. I'm just referencing that it exists. But I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to tell you guys to have an amazing rest of your morning, afternoon, and or evening, and that you guys are wonderful. And thank you all for your continued support. If you're new to the channel and you want to join our subscriber nation, please click the subscribe button. But I'm okay if you don't. It's only if you want to. No pressure. As always, stay wonderful, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.